My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the habits that many people overlook yet carries serious consequences is sleeping after Asr. On the surface, it may look like something small. I'm tired, I'll just close my eyes for a few minutes. But when we look deeper into the wisdom of our scholars, into our daily experiences, and into the discipline of Islam, we realize that sleeping after Asr is not just about physical rest. It impacts both the mind and body in ways that most people never think about. From the physical perspective, it is well known that sleeping during certain times of the day can disrupt the body's natural rhythm. Our bodies have been created with a balance. There is a time for rest, a time for activity, and a time for worship. When this balance is broken, the effects are felt immediately. Many people who sleep after Asr complain of waking up with headaches, heaviness, and lack of focus. Instead of feeling refreshed, they feel even more drained. This is because the body was not designed to take deep rest at this hour. Science itself confirms that our circadian rhythm works best when the body rests at night and takes a short nap in the middle of the day, not in the late afternoon. But Islam had already taught us this wisdom long before modern research. The pious predecessors often discouraged sleeping after Asr, not as a rigid prohibition, but as sincere advice for maintaining health and productivity. They observed that a person who sleeps at this time often becomes lethargic and loses the sharpness of both mind and body. Instead of preparing for the evening prayers and beneficial activities, they waste the most important part of the day in sluggishness. Mentally, sleeping after Asr creates confusion and disturbance. Have you noticed that when you wake up from a late afternoon sleep, you feel lost, not knowing whether it is evening or night, sometimes even missing Maghrib altogether? This disorientation is a direct result of disrupting the natural balance of the day. The mind is robbed of its clarity, and instead of being energized, you become dull. How can such a state help you with worship, work, or family responsibilities? There are also spiritual dimensions here. The time between Asr and Maghrib is not an ordinary time. It is a period loaded with significance. The Quran mentions Asr as one of the great witnesses of time. Be Asr, indeed mankind is in loss except those who believe, do good deeds, encourage one another to truth and patience. Surah Al-Asr 103, 1/3. This means that the hours after Asr are valuable opportunities to engage in worship, dhikr, and reflection. When you sleep through this time, you are depriving yourself of the light and mercy that descend during these moments. Furthermore, many of the righteous warn that unnecessary sleep after Asr can lead to negative effects on the heart and spirit. Shaitan often uses this time to trap the believer in laziness, making it difficult for them to prepare for Maghrib or engage in beneficial deeds. Instead of remembering Allah, the person spends this blessed time in heedlessness. This is why scholars always advised filling these hours with Qur'an, dua, family discussions, or productive work rather than sleep. From a practical angle, we also see that sleeping after Asr ruins a person's schedule. They stay awake late into the night, struggling to sleep at the proper time, and then they find it difficult to wake up for Fajr. A small nap in the wrong place of the day can create a cycle of bad habits that steals from your health, your productivity, and even your worship. Now, does this mean it is absolutely haram to sleep after Asr? No, Islam is a religion of balance. If someone is genuinely unwell, exhausted, or in need of a little rest, they are not sinful for taking it. But the general advice and the wisdom of the scholars is to avoid making it a habit because the harm outweighs the benefit. Instead, Islam gives us the solution of the Kayla, the midday nap, usually after Dua. This short rest is refreshing, energizing, and does not disturb the body's balance. It prepares you for the evening worship without the heaviness that comes from sleeping after Asr. My brothers and sisters, we must remember that our bodies are in a manner a trust from Allah. How we use our time and care for our health is part of our accountability. Sleeping after Asr may look small, but its effects can shape your physical health, your mental clarity, and your spiritual state. The believer is alert, disciplined, and balanced, not someone who wastes valuable hours in sluggishness. If you want to protect your mind from confusion, your body from heaviness, and your spirit from heedlessness, then avoid this habit. Use the time after Asr wisely. Make dhikr, recite Quran. Spend time with family or plan your evening. You will feel the difference immediately. Your evenings will become more productive. Your worship will become stronger, and your life will carry more barakah. In short, sleeping after Asr is not just about closing your eyes for a while. It is about how you treat your body, how you manage your time, and how you honor the blessings of Allah. Value this time, Allah will value you. My beloved brothers and sisters, every moment of the day carries value in the sight of Allah. But there are certain times that are more sacred, more blessed, and more filled with opportunities for forgiveness and mercy. One of these times is the period between Asr and Maghrib. Sadly, many people neglect these hours, treating them as unimportant when in fact They hold immense spiritual weight. To neglect them is to lose out on treasures that cannot be regained. Allah takes an oath by time in the Quran by ace. Indeed, mankind is in loss, except those who believe, do good deeds, encourage one another to truth, and encourage one another to patience. So Surah Al, as 103:1, this powerful chapter is a reminder that time, especially the time after us, is not to be wasted. It is a witness against us. Every moment that passes unused is a moment of loss. The early Muslims used to say, if this surah was the only revelation, it would have been sufficient, because it summarizes the reality of human life. Either you use your time in faith and good deeds, or you waste it and fall into loss. When a believer neglects the evening hours, the first spiritual consequence is the loss of Barakah's blessing. The hours between Asr and Maghrib are filled with opportunities to gain Allah's mercy. Yet those who ignore this time find that their day ends in heaviness, laziness, and regret. Instead of preparing the heart for Maghrib and Isha, they fall into heedlessness. Without Barakah, their evenings become unproductive, their conversations fruitless, and their hearts distracted. Another serious consequence of neglecting this time is missing out on acceptance of dua. The Prophet Muhammad mentioned that there are moments on Fridays when a person's dua is never rejected, and many scholars pointed to the time between Asr and Maghrib as one of those special windows. Imagine, while others are raising their hands and receiving Allah's mercy, you are asleep, distracted, or busy with meaningless talk. You lose a chance that could have changed your life, a dua that could have healed your heart or opened your rizq. Neglecting the evening hours also weakens the heart's connection to Allah. The period after Asr is meant for dhikr, reflection, Quran recitation. These acts prepare the soul for the night, when angels record deeds and the heart stands in prayer. Without this preparation, the soul becomes heavy. Many people who neglect the evening hours struggle to pray Maghrib and Isha with focus. They approach Salah in a state of tiredness, their minds distracted, their hearts distant. This is the spiritual price of wasting those hours. There is also the danger of falling into the traps of Shaitan. The evening is a time when devils spread, as mentioned in authentic hadith. The Prophet advised believers to protect their children and households at Maghrib, for the shayateen are active at this hour. When you fill these hours with heedlessness, sleeping, idle entertainment, gossip, you make yourself more vulnerable to negative whispers. On the other hand, when you fill them with remembrance, Quran, and beneficial activity, you shield yourself and your family with Allah's protection. Neglecting the evening hours can even affect the quality of your night. When you end your day heedless, you often carry that heedlessness into the night. Your sleep becomes heavy, your dreams disturbed, and your ability to rise for Fajr weakened. But when you spend Asr to Maghrib in worship and reflection, your night is calm, your rest is blessed, and your heart feels light. The righteous predecessors understood this truth deeply. Many of them would dedicate the hours after Asr exclusively to worship. Some would sit in the mosque until Maghrib, reciting Quran or making dhikr. Others would use the time to teach, to advise their families, or to prepare for the night prayer. They believe that how you end the day determines how Allah blesses your night and your following morning. Practically, what does this mean for us today? It means we must reclaim the evening hours. Instead of wasting them, we should fill them with actions that bring light to our hearts. Recite even a small portion of Quran. Sit with your family and remind each other of Allah. Make dua with sincerity. Reflect on your day, seek forgiveness for your mistakes, and plan to do better tomorrow. Even a few minutes of focused dhikr after Asr can change the state of your heart. My brothers and sisters, neglecting the evening hours may seem small, but its spiritual consequences are heavy. You lose barakah, you miss accepted duas, your salah weakens, shaitan finds openings in your life, and your night becomes dark. But when you honor these hours, you gain the opposite: mercy, protection, clarity, and light. Do not let Asr slip away like ordinary time. Recognize it as a sacred moment to prepare your soul for the night and to seek Allah's mercy before the sun sets. For when the sun sets, another day of your life has gone, never to return. Use the hours wisely before they testify against you on the day of judgment. My beloved brothers and sisters, every Muslim desires barakah, blessings that make our time, wealth, health, and lives meaningful. Barakah is not measured in numbers, but in quality. A little with barakah feels like plenty, while a lot without barakah feels empty and wasted. One of the greatest secrets to unlocking barakah in life lies in how we treat the time after Asr Salah. The hours between Asr and Maghrib may appear ordinary, but in the sight of Allah, they carry immense weight. This is a time when the day is drawing to an end, deeds are being recorded, and souls are being prepared for the night. To stay awake and conscious of Allah in these hours is to invite His blessings into your evening, your family, and your rizq. First, let us reflect on the concept of time itself. Allah takes an oath by time in the Quran, by as indeed mankind is in loss. Says, Surah Al-Asr 131 to the why specifically Asr? Because this part of the day represents decline, the passing away of opportunities. Just as the sun moves toward setting, so too are our lives moving toward their end. Those who realize this and use their evenings in obedience to Allah gain barakah, while those who waste it fall into loss. When you remain awake after Asr, filling the time with beneficial deeds, you are telling Allah, Wa Allah, I value the hours you have given me. I will not waste them. That attitude itself invites blessings. You begin to notice that your evenings are more productive, your family conversations more meaningful, and your worship more focused. One of the greatest ways to unlock barakah after Asr is through declaring remembrance of Allah. The Prophet, they encouraged remembrance in the mornings and evenings, sitting after Asr, reciting Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and La ilaha illallah, fills your heart with peace and surrounds you with angels. Even a few minutes of sincere dhikr can transform the heaviness of your day into lightness of heart. Another means of barakah is making dua during these hours. Many scholars held that the time between Asr and Maghrib on Fridays is one of the moments when duas are not rejected. But even on regular days, the evening is a blessed time for supplication. Imagine if you set aside just 10 minutes daily to raise your hands, asking Allah for forgiveness, guidance, and ease, how much blessing would descend into your life. Staying awake after Asr also allows you to prepare spiritually for Maghrib Salah. Too often, people sleep or waste these hours only to wake up rushing or feeling heavy at prayer time. But when you remain awake, alert, and mindful, your transition into Maghrib becomes smooth. You pray with khushu's humility, and that salah brings light into the rest of your evening. On a practical level, staying awake after Asr can even improve your productivity in worldly matters. Many successful people, both in the past and today, use this time to complete important tasks, study or engage in beneficial work. Because the body is still active, but the day is winding down, the hours after Asr are perfect for reflection, writing, planning, or engaging with your family. When you dedicate this time to good actions, you notice barakah in your schedule, tasks get done faster, and you feel a sense of peace rather than stress. There is also a hidden wisdom in avoiding sleep after Asr. Scholars have noted that sleeping at this time can cause laziness, headaches, or disturb sleep at night. Instead of refreshment, it often brings heaviness. By staying awake, you protect your body's natural rhythm, ensuring better rest later at night and more energy for worship at Fajr. This too is barakah, managing your time in a way that aligns with your spiritual and physical health. Let us not forget the example of the righteous predecessors. Many of them dedicated the hours after Asr to teaching, learning, or reciting Quran. Some would sit in the mosque until Maghrib, immersed in worship, while others would use the time to strengthen family bonds. They believed that how you end your day determines how Allah blesses your night and the following morning. Their lives were filled with barakah because they honored these hours. My brothers and sisters, unlocking barakah is not about doing something extraordinary. It's about valuing the ordinary moments that others waste. When you stay awake after Asr and fill that time with remembrance, dua, current beneficial work, or even simply sitting with your family in good conversation, you are unlocking blessings that ripple across your entire life. So ask yourself, how do I treat the hours after Asr? Do I waste them in heedlessness, or do I honor them as a gift from Allah? Remember, once the sun sets, another day of your life is gone, never to return. Use the time wisely. Allah will place barakah in your time, your wealth, your health, and your heart.